Welcome back to another episode where we're going to make the fence go from this to this. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rice Acres. Well, we are going to make our fence have a little bit of color and protection. So we looked around at the option of doing painting and, get a good quality paint. So it was about $200 per 5 gallons. And then if the paint doesn't really cure to the wood over time, it's going to bubble, it's going to peel, it's going to flake off. You're going to have to scrape, you're going to have to sand and repaint it whenever it needs to happen, right? So I looked into another product called Wood Defender. My new neighbor actually brought it up. He's like, you gotta look at this product called Wood Defender. So it's an oil-based stain, and you can get it in all different stain colors. You can get transparent, semi-transparent. We picked black, and we got semi-transparent black, so it's going to make this fence basically look like it's painted black. And what's nice about it is that it's an oil-based stain. It's got a 6-year warranty guarantee that it will protect your wood and keep that color there. One good thing about it is later on when you go to reapply, I'll probably do it in every 5 years, even though it has a 6-year warranty. We'll see how it looks in 5 years. But if you don't have any mold on your fence or any dirt, you literally can just go and just reapply it. But if you got some mold and you got some dirt, you're going to want to run, quickly run a power wash over it. But we got 515 feet of fence here, so hopefully we never have to do that. It's about $230 per 5 gallons, so it's a little bit more than paint, but it absorbs into that wood. And another good factor about it is that you can just spray it on. You can roll it on, and you can brush it on, but we're going to spray it on. And you don't have to do any back rolling. If you get it on the fence and it just starts dripping down, don't worry about it. That'll fade, that'll absorb into the wood. So you don't have to worry about any back brushing or any back rolling to this product. So to me, paying that $230 per 5 gallons, I thought was a good option. And how the warranty is and how it's going to protect this wood, I thought it was the best option out of anything, and especially to get that black look. Now, with 515 feet of fencing here, trust me, I'd like to do aluminum, but the price of aluminum to do this much fencing would have cost me a lot of money. So I want to protect this wood and make it last as long as possible. I thought about the PVC option, but down here with our wind and our hurricanes in the Carolinas, that PVC fence, I've seen those sections blow out. So we just went the wood option on this, and we got to protect it. So let's get into this. We're going to mix this stuff up. I'll show you here real quick what the container looks like. So here's your container. So this is a semi-transparent black in color. We're going to mix this up with a mixer and a drill. We're going to put it into our sprayer. And what I got is a cordless Milwaukee 2-gallon sprayer. I wanted to get the 4-gallon, but right now the 4-gallon backpack version is kind of on back order because they redesigned it. So I got the one that's been out for a while. This is a 2-gallon. I figure it's all right. I can carry it. 2 gallons. It won't be bad to carry along. I did buy 10 gallons to do 515 feet, but it's really technically 1,030 feet doing both sides, right? They say every gallon covers anywhere from 150 to 250 square feet. I did the math. We should be okay, hopefully, but if we have to, we might have to buy an extra gallon or so. And being this is oil-based, got mineral spirits, or you can use a paint thinner to do your cleaning. So we'll run some mineral spirits to this later to make sure it doesn't adhere inside the mechanism here, and I can be able to reuse this. And one other thing you want to do after you install your fence is that Wood Defender wants there's a bee flying around me, wants the moisture to be under 13%. So how do you know where the moisture on your wood is, right? Well, we got a moisture meter. They make different versions. They got the ones you can poke into the wood. This is a non-contact version from Klein. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link to the description on this. And this one overall is a no-contact version of it. So it's good for sheetrock. It's good for, cinder block. CMU walls. You can just check the moisture content all the way around. So we shot this, I think, about 4 days ago. We ran along the fence, and most of the fence is around 8% to 6%. So we're well under that 13%, but I'll show you how this works real quick. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up on the camera with this LCD screen, but all you got to do is put it on the wood itself. And this is hard to see right now, but we're about 11%. Got a mark on there. We're about 11% on this board because it did rain pretty hard a couple days ago. So our moisture level's down to about 6%, 4%. I thought it was 11, but it's actually 2%. So you want to make sure that you were under the 13%. I'm about 6% down there, 7%. It all depends where you are on your boards themselves. So that's the most important thing, that you want to make sure that your moisture content is under 13% before you apply this, so it absorbs into the wood. I waited about 6 weeks. This is green, pressure treated green lumber, and they say wait 3 to 6 months based on where you are. But I think I'm going to be good here, because down here it's been, you know, even though it's October, it still ranges pretty good of lots of sun and lots of temperature, you know, a higher temperature. So it dried it out pretty fairly quickly, which is good. But let's get this mixed up and let's get started, guys. Let's get this looking good. It's definitely good being back here at Rice Acres. It's been a little bit of a lull. I'll probably do a update video soon of where we're at with getting construction started here and everything else here soon. And being this doesn't have a pour spout on it, I got a little 2-gallon bucket that I'm going to dump it into, and then I got a funnel to put into this sprayer, because we don't want to spill that much of this stuff because it's so expensive. It's like a lot of work just to get it into the sprayer. I wish they would put pour spouts on these lids. It would be helpful. So we're going to do pretty much 2 gallons at a clip, and then we're going to load it into the sprayer, which I already got stain on that. And then what I'm going to do is take a funnel, pour it into the container here. Alright, I got the setting on the sprayer at 3. Now how we want to come out. I'm going to adjust the nozzle on this. Maybe too much, but you see how I'm getting it on there and it's just kind of messy. Doesn't make a difference. You know, I thought about using a hand pump, but I'm like, I don't want to sit here with a hand sprayer all day. It's not like it's a solid fence where, you know, your overspray is getting on other boards. You're kind of wasting it when you do it like this, unfortunately. I did change the nozzle. It's really not, probably not wasting as much. I just don't like the coverage. You know, every sprayer is going to be different, so you just got to work with the sprayer you have and try to get the right settings. All right, I think I got it adjusted right. Now I'm definitely not wasting as much. Take a little finagling. So I'm going to keep moving along here, guys. I don't want to bore you to death with me going board by board, but we'll do like a little bit of a time lapse and see how this turns out and see how far this goes. I'm a little concerned that it's not going to cover as much as I thought, so we'll see. One thing I will say though, if you have finished grass, you're going to want to cover your grass in between all your fence posts. Alright guys, so I was able to get 320 feet done, both sides, with 10 gallons. You can see how it looks up close. It came out really well. You can see the overspray. It's a windy day, so I recommend not doing this on a windy day, because you definitely want to get it on your house. You got to cover your house. But try to do this on a non-windy day. But I just had a free time to do it and I wanted to get it done. Plus I wanted to see how far the 10 gallons will cover us. So we're not completely done. We still have to go down that way yet. But you kind of get a concept of what this is going to look like. And that will just finish when I get the other 10 gallons. Because what I'm going to do is get 10 more gallons, do this really good, and probably come back and hit some more spots here that I want to get a little bit more of that soaked into that wood and make it look good. But I think overall, guys, it came out really, really well. A lot better looking than that. And my wife wanted to go black because we're going to go white with black black windows on the house, so it kind of ties it all together instead of doing a stain color. But it covered really well once I got my tip right on my sprayer. And you just spray it on really heavy, you know, not too heavy, but you want to spray it on liberally so it soaks into that wood. And it's semi-transparent, so you are going to get some wood kind of peeking through the stain itself. That's where I want to kind of go back through and hit some spots and get a little bit more absorbed in. But for the most part, it did cover with one coat going up and down. So like I said, I just want to go back and touch up a little bit. So definitely cover your grass, cover any bushes, anything you don't want to get this stuff on, but it came out really well. I'm really happy with it and can't wait to get it all finished and get that complete. And then the only thing we're going to do is just put caps on top of these posts. So I think I'll just tie it all together and be done. So as you can see, I'm probably pretty much got this stuff all over my face, all over my hat. It's on my shirt, on my sleeve. It's in my mustache, it's in my beard, it's everywhere. So I got a good shower and a good cleanup to do. I just wanted to show you guys how this goes on and how quick and easy it is. So this 320 feet took me about 2.5 hours. Now if I was painting this, you know, it'd be way back there. So definitely a quick application. It's worth the money. I thought the 10 gallons would cover a little bit more than it did, but I mean, it got us pretty damn close. Like I was saying before, I think because it's 3 board and you know, a lot of it's kind of spraying past the board, I try to keep the nozzle close. I think quite a bit got wasted. Not enough to finish the fence, but I definitely wasted some with just having an open concept like this of a fence instead of just a solid board wood, you know, blockade fence type of style. So probably could get away with about 7 gallons, but we're gonna get the 10 gallons so we can kind of go back and do a little bit of touch up and just hit some areas that we want to touch up again. So it looks good and we'll be good for 6 years, they say, but I'll probably redo this again in 5 years just to make sure this wood lasts for at least 15 to 20 before I have to replace it. Then maybe then I can do aluminum fence, but for now, this is what we got, guys. I think it came out really well. You can get away with just a pump sprayer, but you'd be sitting there pumping a lot to do this. And a sprayer is the fastest way to do this over, you know, rolling it on, brushing it on. So spraying is the best option. It goes on like water. If you have any questions, just let me know. Just drop them in the comments and I'll get back with you if you have any questions about this wood defender. But you can go on their website. I'll leave the link in the description to the website. You can read up on it as well. But if you have any just simple generic questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll get back with you. You know, I'll get back to everybody. That's it, guys. I'm going to give you guys an update here shortly of what's going to be going on here. You see I got some posts over here too for where the house is going to be sitting. So we'll have an update video here soon and tell you where we're at. You can see this is the first time I've been back here for quite some time to do some work. As always, I appreciate every one of you. Hope you enjoyed this episode, another episode back here at Rice Acres, and there's going to be a lot coming up. As always, be safe on the water. I'll catch you on the water or see you here from Rice Acres.